Today on DNVR Buffs Live, it's great to be back, and I've got my guys Scott and Jake here to take me through everything that I missed and get my instant reactions, because I honestly don't know what happened at all, so I'm excited for it. Let's get it. Let's go,
squad.
Coming to you live from the Toyota Lounge, driven by your Front Range Toyota stores. It's DNVR Buffs Live. The gang's back together.
It's good to be back, man. Missed you guys.
Miss you too, bro.
Big three vibes. Good to see you, my
Yes,
boy.
sir.
How you feeling?
I feel amazing, man.
Congrats.
Do you feel married, bro?
Yeah.
I do. I gotta say, like, I feel like as men, we don't spend nearly as much time like looking forward to our wedding as women do. They have it. They were right. Like, it is something that is absolutely worth spending your whole life looking forward to.
Damn, awesome.
It's easily the best week of my life. So fulfilling. So many people like saying nice things about you. It's just it was an unbelievable experience, and yeah, I'll cherish it forever.
Love that for
That's
you, man.
awesome, man. Congrats to you and Allie, man. That's awesome.
No doubt.
Thank you.
We tried to hold it down. I think we did a decent job, but we did miss you too.
Facts.
You guys definitely held it down.
Thank you.
Thank you, though.
No problem.
I missed you too. We missed you so much. We FaceTimed you from the day.
I know, yeah. That was electric. That was one of my favorite moments of the weekend.
We
You
had
feel
to,
like you were there, bro?
It did. For
Right.
20 seconds, I was like, yeah, let's go.
so you had told Allie like jokingly like, oh, FaceTime me when hot to go plays.
Yeah.
So then it comes on. She's like, do you have your phone? I was like, I think so. She's like, FaceTime Jake. I'm like, okay.
Bro. No way you actually called for that song, bro.
Yeah.
I know that's your song, but damn, bro.
It's a banger, bro. Of course.
Hey, that's too funny.
I'm going to turn up every time I hear that song.
We went through 25 bottles of tequila
Let's go.
with 48 people there just on wedding day. It was
Y'all did it right.
wild.
Yeah, no doubt. Jeez.
Y'all did it right. What's your favorite thing about being married so far, bro?
Oh, man.
Putting
That
you on the
nothing
spot.
changed.
That is a flex.
That is, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
That's a flex.
That's my
bro.
favorite
Go
thing.
crazy.
All right.
My least favorite thing is that I just fiddle with this ring all day long. Like, people that watch the show are just going to see me doing this the whole show,
That's
probably for the
crazy.
rest of time.
We got a lot to catch you up on, though. We had rookie mini camps. We had 2 massive recruiting weekends. We had commitments.
Yeah.
Actually, a surprisingly low amount of bullshit, too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Relatively speaking, I have to agree
Honestly,
with you, bro.
yeah.
Yeah.
Off season for bullshit, even.
Yeah, I think so.
Don't get it twisted, though. It's still there.
Yeah,
It's still
of
around.
course,
It
for
never
sure.
goes away.
It never goes away. But yeah.
Coach Pollock stood on business on Twitter. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Like a week and a half ago.
sure did.
I truly did not see anything.
Okay. Well,
I went on my phone like maybe once a day.
So let's start from when you left off, I guess. When you left off, what we talked about on the show was previewing the recruiting weekend, the first one. That weekend was headlined by 2 5-stars, offensive tackle Felix Ojo, IMG's 5-star edge Jake Krull. Brett Colajay was also there. Deacon Schmidt, the top recruit in Colorado, was there. KJ Edwards, one of the top running backs in the country, was there as well. I mean, there was a ton of them. It was a massive weekend.
Wow.
Biggest takeaways, though. Immediately after the weekend is over, Felix Ojo goes home And Adam Gorney of Rivals tweets out that Colorado's no longer in his recruitment. Just
Okay.
yeah, so okay. We spoke to Jake Krull, we spoke to Brett College, and we spoke to Deacon Schmidt on this show. All three of them are great.
Yeah.
Really just cool kids. They were really excited by their visit. Jake Krull was, I think the visit actually caught him a little bit by surprise with how much he enjoyed it. When he talked to us, he was just glowing with excitement about Boulder and Coach Prime and the coaching staff, spending time with Coach Hilo and all that stuff. So,
That's awesome.
yeah.
And those three guys in particular, who were just talking about the two IMG guys, Breck and Jay Krull, along with Deacon Schmidt, the number one ranked, recruit in Colorado. Jake told us when he was on the show that one of the coolest parts of their recruiting weekend was just hanging out at Juju's house. Like, he had the group of recruits over, getting into Shador Sanders' recruiting bag already, as an early enrollee. His first, couple months on campus, he's already taken on the recruiting, kind of responsibility that comes with being, a 5-star blue chip quarterback like Julian Lewis is. So that was really cool to hear.
That's amazing. And I also just have to say that I don't remember in the pre-NIL era anyone ever talking about going over to someone's house.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jake said Juju's house.
Yeah, that's what he said.
His house. Not his apartment, not his it's at home.
By the way, speaking of Juju, I saw Juju with the braids.
Yeah.
That's a kind of a game changer.
Yep.
It makes him look a lot older.
Yeah. He's looking like a Power 5 quarterback,
yeah,
bro.
for real.
No doubt.
So yeah, Julian played a factor definitely in that first weekend. We'll get to the second weekend though, here in a second. College and Schmidt were great though on the show. Brett College said like, if they can get both of us, that'd be an amazing get for Colorado, like kind of teasing it. And then just yesterday, actually, a Texas insider filed a crystal ball for Breck to commit to Colorado. But Breck hasn't even finished his OV cycle yet this summer.
For sure.
So,
Interesting.
But and there's a Georgia one too for him to commit to Georgia. I think that one's about a week old as well. So I mean, I don't know, but he's got a bunch more OVs. Like it's Oklahoma, Texas, like some SEC visits. So Colorado's in the thick of it though.
For sure. And one thing specifically about Breck that I think is probably going to be a common thread amongst recruits in this 2026 class is they're going to want to see how Colorado does early on in the season, particularly with guys like Brett College. He specifically mentioned he wants to see how the running game continues to evolve. That's going to play a big factor in his decision because obviously he's mulling over, a handful of the top kind of programs in college football right now. So I feel like that's a common thread. They want to see, at least early on, how things look, one, without Shador and Travis, but two, particularly up front, how the offensive line gels and how their running game continues to improve.
Do you think that will ever go away? Like, do you think there's a certain level where you miss where people stop saying that? Because that's what everyone said last year, too. It was like, oh, I'm really curious to see how they're doing. Juju was even one of them, I think. For sure. Said, like, he wanted to see how the season went before, making any decisions. Do you think that, like, Colorado goes out and wins somewhere between 8 and 10 games again this year, then next year you're not dealing with the, like, oh, we got to wait and see thing?
For sure. Something I've been talking about the last 2 weeks. We have runway now, right, for this program. Like, it's not just about this year. It's not just about winning games, building this year's roster. We can actually plan for the future now. If Colorado goes out and wins, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 games this year, then definitely I think that you'll see a lot of that kind of being alleviated and you won't hear that as much anymore.
Yeah, I think this is the year where that could all go away. All those kind of notions of, well, can they really run the football? Can they really protect the quarterback? I think this is the year where, like I said, all those kind of notions can be thrown out the window. Because, again, if you go out and win 8, 9, 10 games again, you're a program that has won 8, 9, 10 games in back-to-back seasons, and you've done it with a different kind of cast of characters. So I think that is that's what needs to happen, I think, particularly up front and with the run game here this fall.
Chat, you need help, man.
What?
Yeah, I don't even see what
I didn't see what you were shaking your head at.
Me either.
KJ Edwards was also on that visit. One of the top running backs in the class of 2026.
Quote of the offseason, bro?
Quote of the offseason. RBU will be coming to see you very shortly.
Is that not a commitment?
That's what we were talking about.
I'm like, bro, you can't say something like that, bro, and not slide. You
He's
just
like,
can't do it.
RBU's coming to see you. I won't be there, but they're going to be unbelievable.
And he said very shortly too, didn't he? He didn't say down the line. He didn't say he said very, very soon.
Yeah, very shortly.
Very shortly.
That was the quote.
And this is somebody, KJ Edwards, who has a commitment set very shortly. He's announcing his decision on August 2nd.
Okay.
He has a visit to Texas next month, a visit to Baylor next month. But this is a dog. I think we talked about him maybe before you left, but has already reached 4,000 career rushing yards in his career through 3 seasons. Averages over 11 yards per carry across 3 seasons of high school football. Dude can catch the football as well out of the backfield. Just an explosive all-around running back that would be, kind of Marshall Faulk's kind of crowning jewel if he's able to get KJ Edwards. But
Sheesh.
yeah, that quote sticks out in your mind when you hear that.
Yeah, that's very declarative.
That's it from the first recruiting weekend. Shortly after that, we got NFL rookie numbers. Travis at 12, of course. Jimmy ends up getting 15.
Fire.
Thoughts?
That works.
Hell yeah. LeJonte's 83.
He gives like 83 vibes from a sense of like that has the number of a reliable receiver.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you can see him in 1 and 10 and all the other things, but like when you see an 83 out there, you're like, that guy's going to be open.
That's like his career average for receptions in a season is 83, pretty much.
Like Wes Welker.
Yes,
exactly.
Exactly.
And I think it was McShay actually talking about this maybe last week where he was talking about LeJonte specifically. And he was like, LeJonte is going to walk into that Baltimore Ravens receiver room and look around and be like,
I can
play here.
Yep.
And when you look at the depth chart of the Ravens depth chart, you'd be like, yeah, he fits. Obviously, they got, Zay Flowers is the receiver 1. They got Bateman. They signed DeAndre Hopkins this offseason. But after that, we're talking about Tylan Wallace and Devontae Walker, who I don't think I've ever heard of.
I don't know who that is.
Anthony Miller, former Bear, and LeJonte's right in that mix. So I like that spot for him. And I think he's in this spot where he could really make some noise year 1.
He's going to play.
For sure.
He will. Shiloh's 28. Signed a pretty big UDFA contract, too.
Nice. I did see the quote where like he was getting a lot of praise.
Yeah. And then Shador. He's no longer 2. He's 12.
Now, this one I saw some controversy about.
Yeah. What do you think?
One, I think that it's really easy to overreact to these things because oftentimes the number changes back.
Right.
2, it kind of looks natural on him.
It does.
For sure.
Like when I saw it, I thought it would be like jarring to see him in another number, and I saw him in that, and I was like, kind of works.
It does. It does. Colorado offered another 2026 quarterback. His name is Cade Kaufman. 4-star player.
Great name.
Ben
Quarterback.
Yeah. Been committed to Michigan State since February from Michigan in Grand Rapids. But similarly ranked player to Oscar Rios, who we've talked a little bit about over the last 2 weeks, because if there's we've already had 2 big recruiting weekends, and we'll get some stats out too on these recruiting weekends and stuff. But you have a third one kind of forming now next month in June with Oscar Rios being the headliner.
Nice.
So I don't know. They're just looking at multiple 2026 quarterbacks, 4 stars, blue chip range. So
As you should. I love that they're really only targeting quarterbacks with elite football names. Cade Kaufman, Oscar Rios, Brody McWhorter. Yeah. I mean, I love it.
We also owe one to Michigan State. We owe a few to Michigan State.
Why is
Do
that?
we?
Going back to Mel Tucker.
Well, I see what you mean. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's take our first break. Still a lot more to catch RK up on. Let's take our first break. Still a lot more to catch RK up on. Shout out to our friends over at Breckenridge Brewery. Breckenridge Brewery, Makes a beer for any occasion. It's officially Mountain Beach Sour season.
Hell yeah.
So if you guys haven't already gotten in on the best beer that Breck Brew makes, you should definitely try it because, as I said, it's my favorite one by them, and it's made for the summertime. It's made for just chilling. I don't know, on a sunny day on a patio. Shout out
the
Mountain
mountains
Beach.
or the beach.
And the mountains or the beach, as in the name. But yeah, coming out with us at DNVR Bar tonight, we got potentially the last Nuggets game of the season.
Big one.
No,
All right, RK says no. So
I'm going.
come
We're
hang
not
out
losing.
tonight. We'll have more Nuggets games here very shortly here at the DNVR Bar, and you can crush some Breck Brews with us. Check out their beer locator at www.breckbrew.com to find a brew near you.
Shout out to the squad over at Monarch Money, man. Listen, y'all, sometimes it's really difficult tracking where your money goes. There are some common financial blind spots like, ordering out and, maybe some hobbies that we might have like golf or something like that, or things that just,
Taking a shot.
take into
Is
our
that a shot, bro?
Not at all. I mean, I like the golf.
Throw
Who
tequila
doesn't
in
like
there,
the
why
golf?
don't you?
Right?
Like,
Tequila,
jeez.
anything,
Sports game.
But gambling virtually. But Monarch Money helps you keep track of your finances. Sometimes, I'm stressed about finances. I think that's natural. But Monarch Money helps you, keep track of all of that and keep everything all in order. You can start managing your finances to build the life you actually want. Monarch makes managing money simple, even for busy lives. The top recommended personal finance app by users and experts with over 30,000 5-star reviews. Monarch Money is the finance tool people actually love. So get control of your overall finances with Monarch Money. Use code DNVR at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code DNVR. Shout out to the squad over at Monarch Money.
All right. After the first recruiting weekend, so this is about a week ago, we had graduation day. And guess who was there?
Travis?
Travis Hunter graduated in 3 years of college.
Yeah, man.
As wasn't he an academic All-American? Like
First team.
first team academic All-American. I'm probably finished with close to a 4.0, if not like a 3.8, 0.9, something like that. He's there in his like Jaguars pajama pants and stuff, man. Like just hanging out with a bunch of the teammates. I can't remember exactly who graduated, but there was a decent amount of them who did. So.
Maury McNeil.
Yep.
Khalil Benson came back.
Yep.
Sammy Sachs. Mm-hmm. I think that was
I
the
saw
group.
Camden. He had a picture.
Yeah.
The governor.
For sure.
There
they are
speaking
right
of
there.
pictures,
There it is.
The picture that Derek Merkel got of Travis standing at graduation with his number retired on the stadium in the background was elite.
Yeah.
That's low-key up there with the Heisman pose from our guy RG from the UCF game.
No doubt, man. After graduation day, we basically had recruiting weekend number 2. And this was the Julian Lewis weekend. Headlined by 5-star wide receiver Sedarian Morgan. Dorian Barney came back.
Nice.
And we'll talk a little bit more about Vance Spafford, the 4-star Georgia commit who came out to Colorado, and he was impressed by what he saw. 4-star safeties Jordan Deck and Donovan Webb came out, and 2 more IMG kids in Janari Carr and DK Forkpa, linebacker. Forkpa's a linebacker. Carr is an interior offensive lineman. Shout out Cliff Hill on that one too. But
You remember our guy Janari Carr? We talked about him a little bit before you left.
I don't think so.
We weren't saying his name like that because we were unsure of the actual pronunciation of his name.
yes.
Yeah.
G apostrophe NIVR. I talked to him last Friday.
Janari.
Janari is how you say it. It's spelled G.
It's very far from how it looks.
NIVRE. Yeah. It's I got the origins of his name. It's his dad's name spelled backwards.
Oh.
What's Pop's name?
Bro, I'm barely able to speak. My brain is working so poorly right
Pop's
now.
name is Irving, so Janari's name is
Nice.
just Irving spelled backwards with a little
That's
apostrophe
actually
in there.
sick.
Yeah, that's what I said. But yeah, back-to-back weekends with an IMG duo here in Boulder, Colorado, courtesy of our guy Cliff Hill, obviously. But yeah, we've been talking about it, Jake and I, the last couple of weeks. If you can continue to stack 1 or 2 of those guys, those IMG dogs, every recruiting cycle, like you did with a couple guys, in 2024, a couple guys in 2025, it is you're gonna be in a good spot.
But the reason this is the Julian Lewis weekend is Sedarian Morgan. He comes out to Colorado. It's Mother's Day weekend, last weekend, right?
Sure is.
Comes out for his OV. He's five stars, number 2 wide receiver in the country. I think actually in the new 247 ratings, 5-star ratings that just came out, he's the number 1 wide receiver.
Wow.
Anyways, he comes out. He's in a Sprinter van with his whole family. Corey Phillips is in there. That's his I'm here post. Tags Julian at Julian Lewis.
Let's go.
He does his, the uniform photo shoot, all that stuff. The photos look crazy. Do you have the Sedarian pictures, Alyssa? If you could if you have those, show RK. But I
just want to wear a bro chain for a day or two.
The chain is crazy too. He posts his pictures on Instagram after, and Julian comments easy with the guy dribbling the basketball emoji.
Wow.
The boys locked in. And I wrote last week or earlier this week.
There's Sedarian, yep.
Just about how Julian is already impacting Colorado recruiting. I don't think Sedarian Morgan takes a visit to Colorado if Julian Lewis isn't above. I don't think Dorian Barney takes a visit to Colorado if Julian Lewis isn't above.
I don't know. Vance Spafford does.
Period. And you can go. We can keep going on this list.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And Julian is already
Tyler Atkinson eventually.
100%.
We can hope.
And that's why you put in the work, invest the resources in trying to land a 5-star blue chip quarterback like Julian Lewis. It's not just because he is an absolute dog on the football field. It's also about who he can attract to play alongside him. And I think we're seeing evidence of his recruiting prowess out there on the recruiting trail. And just yesterday, you saw that video that Julian posted of him with the braids, throwing the tennis ball and whatnot, getting some work in.
Yeah.
Sedarian commented underneath that one with the twin
Two
emoji
dogs.
and the dog emoji.
Yeah, let's go.
Yep.
So them boys is locked in, man. You love to see it. And Sedarian Morgan would be the Jordan Seaton of this 2026 recruiting class,
Yes.
the Julian Lewis of this 2026 recruiting class. That would be, and he is committing July 2nd.
Very soon.
Very
Wow.
soon. So if he gets on board July 2nd, you can have a whole summer with a 5-star, already to recruit and whatnot. So that could be massive.
You guys know I love to evaluate names.
Yeah,
That is a first
It's up
round
there.
name right
A+.
there.
for sure.
I can already hear wide receiver 1 in this class is obviously Sedarian Morgan.
Yeah,
And then there's a little bit of a drop off.
right. For sure, man. But yeah, he's a beast. He comes out with his family. To me, it seems like he is very wants to stay close to his family. Obviously it's Mother's Day weekend, and CU rolled out the red carpet and then some. They had hibachi on the rooftop of the Champions Center and everything. Yeah,
Dang.
It's crazy.
they did it all.
They didn't have that when I got engaged up there.
They did it. But he's from Alabama, obviously Georgia, Alabama, not too far. This is Julian's original recruiting class. The relationship probably goes back, but it really seems like Sedarian. It's going to be hard to get him out of the state of Alabama. He's got a lot of predictions for Auburn and Alabama. Those are his last 2 OVs in this summer cycle, with Alabama being the last. That's where 247 likes him to end up, is at Alabama. But Steve Wiltz-Fong says that the Buffs, they have a shot now. So they're in his recruitment.
Was he the one who said they just skyrocketed up my
No,
recruitment?
that was Julius Miles. That's the tight end who he was also on this second weekend.
Okay.
But Sedarian had some fire quotes come out
He did,
of
I
this
got him.
past weekend. Yeah, where he was.
So Sedarian said, I had a great time on the visit. Really, the coaching staff, man, being around the whole coaching staff. I enjoyed every single one of them. Just getting in there, knowing I can play early and build my brand, and being up under Coach Prime and the other coaches on the staff. That could be an easy path for me to get to the NFL. On the city and everything. The city, the town, the mountains, it's very different for me because I'm from the South. I saw a lot of new things. They have a great shot. This is my first time being there. I really enjoyed it.
Wasn't Sedarian the one who said that, I messed with everybody on the staff?
Oh, the one that we read yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah. And he mentioned Julian in that
For sure.
that article as well.
That was cool though, and it shows you, what we always have known, which is that Coach Prime always has a method to his madness.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that quote about the coaching staff shows that's intentional on Coach Prime. It's a very common thread between the coaching staff of the vibe that they give off, the type of people that they are,
Yeah.
whether that's NFL, experience or whatever, but like when you go up there, it feels like a big family. Everyone's joking around and talking with each other the way that you would, with your family. So I think there's going to be a lot of players who get in there and feel that vibe and want to stay there. And obviously bringing, your whole family out. I think it would be hard for a family not to say like, man, I think we could relocate here for a few years to watch him go ball out.
About Sedarian for sure.
Sure.
And yeah, I mean, just even piggybacking off that with kind of the family thing, we've heard that from the recruits that we talked to last week. Like Deacon Schmidt, who we talked to on the show on Friday, he was telling us about how him and Gunnar White and Andre Gerard and George Hagman went out, axe throwing competition. It was him and Gunnar versus Gerard and Hagman, and they were going back and back. And it was a 3-3. So he was like, we got to figure out game 7 when we come back.
Bro, I imagine George Hagman throwing an axe through the wall.
No, for real. Swear. And then Janari Cart yesterday was telling us, or Monday, he was telling me that he's got a real like close relationship with Andre Gerard. Like them two are really close, and obviously his NFL background, Gerard's, really stands out to Janari as well. So yeah, this coaching staff has been carefully crafted to not only be elite coaches, but really able to relate to these young men that they're trying to get to Boulder.
Facts.
Definitely. And we'll dig into more of that with Gavin Mueller here in a second, too.
Facts.
Gavin Mueller, he was out 2 weekends ago, right? First one?
2 weekends ago.
Yeah,
2 weekends ago.
Gavin Mueller was on the first one. He committed yesterday. We'll get into him. On Vance Spafford, though, this is another blue chip wide receiver. He's from California, actually. Committed to Georgia. It's a long way away. So Colorado, I think, has a chance. And he basically said so. He told Steve Wiltfong that. He said, I had an amazing time. It was incredible. I loved everything about it. I love how they want to use their freshmen and play their freshmen. I think it would be an amazing opportunity to play for Colorado. They're definitely a top contender.
Love it.
He's been a Georgia commit since November. But with that, something's going on out in California. The Buffs recruiting staff, actually not just the recruiting staff, the entire Buffs coaching and recruiting staff basically has been out in California over the last couple of weeks. That's where Domata Peko Jr. plays. That's where Domata Peko, I think, obviously he raises his kids out there and stuff.
Yeah,
but
modern day
probably
connections.
has exactly those relationships. You've seen a lot of offers for defensive linemen coming out of California. Just yesterday, a bunch of the Rivals guys posted that Bartoloni was back out there after a commitment. Box was out there. Mathis was out there. They've been hitting California hard recently, and Vance Spafford is up there as one of the number one targets.
I love it. I mean, eventually those California kids are going to realize that playing in the Big Ten is lame as hell, and they might rather play in Colorado and Texas than playing in like East Lansing, Michigan, and Lincoln, Nebraska.
No doubt.
No doubt.
Hey, Spafford a dog too.
He is.
Mission Viejo, which turns out some good football talent.
Yes.
As a sophomore, he broke all their season records: 83 catches, 1,500 yards, 22 touchdowns.
Damn.
As a sophomore, Vance Spafford down there in Mission Viejo, out in Cali.
Has a personal best in the 100
Not what I
meter.
expected. Not what I expected.
Has a personal best in the 100 meter at 10.69.
Track athlete too. Sheesh.
Damn.
Not a surprise that he's committed to Georgia.
Yeah.
But clearly he is keeping his options open.
No
and
doubt.
even Chad Simmons before that reported that he is still looking. Mm-hmm. He is still looking despite being committed to
He does have
Georgia.
an OV to Georgia in about a month. After that, the weekend after that, he'll go to Miami. That's all he's got scheduled for this summer. So I believe him when he says Colorado is a legitimate contender. Who else was out there? Julius Miles. He had that quote on "They skyrocketed in my recruitment." 3-star tight end. He was out there last weekend. He's from Florida, I believe.
How do we feel about that now? Because we posed the question before Gavin Mueller committed, right?
What?
Do we think that could potentially impact Julius Miles' interest in Colorado now that Gavin Mueller's on board? The same position, obviously.
I'll say what I said last time, and that's they got 2 tight ends in last year's cycle.
Fair
I
enough.
don't think that bars them from getting 2 in this year's cycle.
Yeah, I mean,
Fair.
it'd be one thing if Colorado was stacked at the position. Like,
Yeah, that room needs help.
yeah. And you look at that and you just say, like, the same way like LeJontay looking at the Ravens receiver room, it's like, I can play here.
I got you.
But you never know. It obviously happens with quarterbacks all the time.
Yeah.
Let's take our next break, and then just a few more headlines to get to. Shout out to the homies over at Empire today. Home field, home floor advantage means a lot. Means almost everything, man. So take care of your home. Take care of your home and business. If they need new floors, hit up our friends over at Empire today. They're the best at it. They've been doing it for forever. They're not going to mess around with, plumbing, roofing, all those other things that you could do to improve your home. They're focused solely on getting you the best new floor that you can, whether you're switching to carpet, to hardwood, tile, all that stuff. They got all the options, and you can hit up an expert. They'll basically bring the floor room to your home with a free in-home estimate. You can see a bunch of different options and just find exactly what fits your wants and needs. Some things are just better at home, so schedule that free in-home estimate today. You'll get a $350 discount when you use promo code DNVR. Again, that's a $350 discount with code DNVR. Some restrictions apply. Visit empiretoday.com/DNVR for full details.
Also, shout out to our friends over at Lucy Nicotine. Took a couple rolls of Lucy down to the wedding for all the fellas. Went through them expeditiously.
I'm sure.
Lucy Nicotine is 100% pure nicotine and always tobacco-free. They also have the Lucy Breakers, which are the same nicotine pouches you love, but have a little extra surprise, a flavor pod in there that you can pop open and get an extra burst of flavor when the original flavor starts dying down. You can set yourself up with a subscription and have Lucy delivered straight to your door. I personally love the mint flavor and the espresso. You can even mix them for a little minty coffee drink. But Jake's all about mango.
Mango and apple ice.
The mango is really, it's mango season.
It is.
So hit up our friends over at Lucy. Go to lucy.co/DNVR and use promo code DNVR to get 20% off your first order. Lucy has a 30-day refund policy if you decide you don't like it. And here comes the fine print. Lucy products are only for adults of legal age, and every order is age verified. Warning, this product contains nicotine, and nicotine is an addictive chemical.
All right. A few more things, and then I would say you're fully caught up. This is not a surprise at all. Probably the least surprising thing on this list. Shador balled out at rookie minicamp.
Love to hear it. Love to hear it. I actually haven't tapped in with the people that I talked to in Cleveland yet.
Did you see the clips?
But I saw some clips of some dimes that he was throwing, and I heard. Here's what really happened for me. I heard people in Cleveland start to say all the things that we've been saying about Shador.
It's so fascinating to watch the last 2 years of my life being played back basically just in Cleveland.
I heard one guy being like, yeah, I mean, he just knows how to throw the ball exactly where he wants to throw it. And I'm like, thank you.
Our guy Emery Hunt tells us history repeats itself all the time.
That's right.
Yep. So it was cool to see that. I know that there's been a lot of debate about Cleveland media, but I just saw some of the clips come out, and I'm like, oh, so y'all are starting to get it now. And basically, anyone who is now watching him, and it's different for local media. Like, I wouldn't expect every local media to have watched film and all that stuff. It's just not how it really goes. But now they're seeing him in person, and they're like, oh, yeah, he can manipulate the football pretty damn well.
Yep.
No doubt, man.
And I saw all of his teammates are posting him on IG.
Oh yeah, and then did you see the photo that he took? I don't know if you still have that, Alyssa. The rookie minicamp photo Shador took with all the players who were invited to Cleveland for a tryout. He took a photo with all those guys, and then they end up signing a wide receiver who went to Kent State, had one really good year.
Yeah.
Cleveland ends up signing him to a long-term UDFA contract, basically, because obviously he's probably catching passes from Shador Sanders a bunch.
Staying at the practice.
The picture.
So this is all of the guys who weren't.
Those are all the tryout guys in Shador.
Damn.
Yep.
That's QB1 behavior.
Facts.
Exactly, bro. And he's the only QB1 on that roster.
Yep.
Yes.
He's in a room full of backups. Joe Flacco is a 40-year-old backup who is used
to make the roster, bro.
Someone's got to go.
Kenny Pickett is used to being a backup at this point in his career. Dylan Gabriel screams NFL backup.
Yes.
And we don't need to talk Deshaun Watson. Shador Sanders is the only QB1 starting quarterback in that room. And that's why it was always, in my opinion, one of, if not the best landing spot for him. And it's just gonna be a movie, bro. It's going to be legendary. I can't wait.
Martin Emerson, Quinshon Judkins, and Dylan Sampson basically already told us who QB1 is.
And there are going to be some quotes out there that were said that those people just look so dumb.
Yep.
Even Mike Tomlin, who we like, had the off the field stuff just wasn't a fit for
I
us.
think that was fake.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was fake.
Sorry. I was out of the loop.
Yeah.
Hey, he gonna see Shador at least once this year on the football field, and he gonna have to deal with him.
But you're still right, because the Steelers are starting to kind of get some criticism now. Like the schedule came out yesterday.
Yeah.
And I think it's Louis Riddick or someone has a clip today who's saying like they're going 0-6. They don't have a quarterback
sure.
who can hold a candle to the teams they're going up against.
And I actually think I saw today before the show, Ryan Clark came out and said that even if Shador had fell to the 7th, the Steelers weren't going to take him. And obviously Ryan Clark is plugged into the Steelers.
Boomer Esiason said multiple owners took Shador off their draft board.
Yep.
It's not surprising.
Congratulations, you played yourselves.
Travis Hunter, so Tony Baselli, first pick in Jacksonville Jaguars history, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fairview High
Actually
School.
from Boulder. Yep.
From Boulder.
Yeah.
Wow.
Same high school as me.
That's crazy.
He's the executive VP of football operations for the Jacksonville Jaguars after their rookie minicamp. He said Travis Hunter has exceeded all expectations, which is another, like, it's not surprising at all. I mean, we know who Travis is. Did you see the Sandy Combs story?
No, I don't know who that is.
Oh boy, I got a gem to share with you. But yeah, Travis is just being Travis.
What is it?
Travis met this woman on a plane.
Oh, okay.
You heard about this?
Is that who that name?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought that was like a journalist that wrote a story. I did see that. Yes, that was a topic that we talked about. Yeah.
You see, they had her on like Good Morning Football, for an interview.
She's an angel, bro.
Oh, you could tell by that post that she wrote.
Oh, for sure.
I just love that, and it's not something new that we are finding out about Travis, but there's like a thing that people say about CU football players or anyone that's around Coach Prime is like they're just doing it for the cameras.
Yep.
And when a story comes out like that of someone who didn't even know who he was, it's not like he's doing it because she knows who I am or whatever. Like just Travis being Travis, no cameras, no nothing, being exactly who we know he is.
Yep. Exactly. He's going to be such a steal for them, man.
Major League was a fire movie.
It is.
I've seen
really
that.
good.
It's an all-time sports movie.
Okay, transfer portal stuff. Recently, I think, what's today, Wednesday or Thursday? 2 days ago, we had a linebacker visitor in Sean Myers from North Alabama.
Yeah.
He was hurt most of 2024, played the first 2 games last year. I can't remember what happened, but he was in Boulder recently. Linebacker is one of the last positions on the checklist, it sounds like. I don't know if you remember it off the top of your head or anything, but running back's probably still up there too.
Yeah, running back. I think one more corner still.
Yep. And speaking of corner, Tyrekus Davis, former Wyoming corner, took a visit a few days ago. He actually, before he came to Wyoming, he played at Navarro Community College with Preston Hodge.
Okay. I saw that because he posted Preston as his offer picture.
Yeah.
Yep. So he already came on a visit. We're waiting to hear from him. The Buffs got another tackle. He actually visited last weekend with last weekend's big recruiting weekend. That's Andre Roy Jr., former Maryland offensive tackle. Started 7 games at left tackle for them last year. And ahead of the 2024 season, head coach Mike Loxley really spoke glowingly about how the strides that he made in that offseason a year ago and how he basically called him like one of the most improved players at camp.
I think he said stars of the camp,
Something
right?
like that, yeah. So
Love that. It's like a boxer name.
yeah.
Andre
it
Roy,
is.
yeah, for sure. That obviously another tackle addition. We've talked about this a little bit. I think I tweeted about it too. I'm curious your thoughts just on that right tackle competition, because I think that's one of the most intriguing position battles, I think, right?
What's crazy is like it would even be hard to put odds on it.
It would be.
Like
It
there's
would
a
be.
lot of
Yeah, the
just
favorites
common
hurt,
competition.
for
sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you got 3 transfers. One from Tennessee, Larry Johnson III, Andre Roy Jr. from Maryland, we just talked about. Monty Taimani, who was in the mix heavily in the spring. Philip Houston, Carday Smith. Like, there's at least 5 options right there just on that right tackle. So
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting to see who comes out on top of that.
So yeah, he's a Buff. Yeah, he'll probably factor in at the right tackle competition at worst. You have a very good backup behind Jordan.
For sure.
Jack Hestera's back.
That was crazy to me.
Yeah. You remember? You obviously remember him.
Yeah, Jack Estero was like a top 3 player on the team in 2022.
Top three overall player or top 3 like receiver?
No, top 3 player on the team.
Overall.
It was like Owen McCown, Charlie Offerdahl, and Jack Estera, and Trevor Woods.
Trevor Woods. Dion made a bunch of plays that year. Yeah. That's who the team was.
Interesting. He's been productive since he left Colorado. Did you know that?
I think I saw you had a tweet about it. Like the players in the receiver room and their production.
Yeah, he has the second most catches, yards, and receiving touchdowns on the team from a career production perspective, only behind Sincere Brown.
Insane.
That is insane.
He's
Also, yes, Dion was one of the top players on the team.
Absolutely, he was. Facts, he was.
So where was he at?
Utah State.
Charlotte, and then
Okay,
Utah
I remember
State.
the Charlotte.
He went to Charlotte with Devan, now the Chicago Bears offensive line coach, but was the Buffs offensive line coach in 22. He was a part of I don't know, there's like 3 or 4 kids that went out there to Charlotte to play for him.
He's got to be from Colorado originally.
He's
Texas.
not.
He's not. Okay. So it's not really a homecoming.
Yeah.
It's like a fresh recruitment.
For his last year of eligibility.
He was a redshirt in 21 though, so he spent multiple seasons out here.
Yeah.
That's just interesting because when I saw that, I was like, okay, like went out, saw the rest of the country. Now he wants to come home.
Yeah.
It seems completely separate from that, though.
Yep.
Bro coming to play.
I think the first player to actually come back. I mean, I guess if you want to count Chance Main, but the first player to come back to the program in the Coach Prime era.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I'm excited for him. That's cool. Cool story.
Jake and I drafted receivers the other day.
Yeah.
Obviously 5 and 5. Just to kind of exemplify how deep and talented this receiver room is. Jake won. He won the popular vote, but
Scotty just messed up. Just that you messed up, bro.
I didn't mess up at all. People didn't like my thought process, but I didn't think I messed up.
I'll tell you right now, I was not gonna pick Jack Hestera. You could have got him in the last round, bro.
I picked Jack Hestera a little too early, or maybe a lot too early in a lot of people's minds, but that's all right. We gonna wait on that one.
Owen McCown to Jack Estero was like going to be our hope for a minute.
It was Jordan Tyson was on that team.
Okay, Jordan Tyson was a top player.
He was the best player for sure.
There's maybe a couple defensive backs that were okay.
Oh, Nico Reed was a good player.
Yeah.
Who was the other one? Weren't there 2 corners?
I don't remember. I mean, Christian Gonzalez, but he wasn't on the last iteration.
Yeah. Crazy blast from the past that was. Last few things. We drafted future songs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Full off-season stuff.
That was fun, though.
I mean, on the Bronco show this morning, we did a draft of the little things. And it was actually a great draft.
Who'd you end up I only saw your first round pick. Do you remember?
My second round pick was the first Cocktail on Vacation.
Okay, I saw that one too. Which was a good one.
Third round pick was a crowd pop, like a perfect crowd pop.
Okay, yeah. Sure, yeah.
I cannot remember what my 4th round pick was, but my 5th round pick was When Your Friends Become Friends. Which is something I experienced a lot this last week, and man, that is a great feeling.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That's sick.
We got a kickoff time and TV announcement for the Georgia Tech game. 6 o'clock.
Okay.
How about that?
Look at that. The olds are having a party.
Friday Night Lights, bro, under Folsom Field. We get to watch the whole Saturday slate.
On ESPN, too.
That's perfect.
Yep.
It is.
That's really perfect.
Last thing to catch you up on, this happened yesterday. Gavin Mueller committed to become a Colorado Buffalo. Massive shout out to Coach Bartoloni. Recruited his ass off to get Gavin Mueller to, say the magic word. Really built a relationship with him. Gavin Mueller had a post last week that he's seen Coach Bartoloni 5 of the last 7 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
Went to go see him right after he visited.
Yeah.
Bartolone went to go see Gavin Mueller down there in Illinois, like right after Mueller was in Boulder for his official visit.
Not
Big time
messing
win.
around.
Not messing around.
6'5", 255, ran a 4.5 40-yard dash, was only a basketball player until last season.
Yeah.
Has a true chance to really explode with a good season this year and become a blue chip recruit if he's not one already.
Yeah, well, he
sure.
already. I mean, based on the offers that he had, he kind of already was one.
He beat the Colorado Buffaloes beat out LSU, who just put Mason Taylor into the NFL in the second, third round. Notre Dame's been a tight end factory for years. They beat them out, and Wisconsin. Jake Ferguson went there. There's been some tight ends to come out of there in recent years as well.
Bro, look at how shredded bro is, bro.
Jeez.
Look at Gavin. He
The
is
body
massive.
fat percentage got to be close to 0.
That's crazy.
And shout out Coach Bartolone and Coach Zim, of course.
Freak athlete. 82-inch wingspan.
My God.
Crazy.
Go back to that previous pick.
Shout out Coach Bart, man.
For sure.
And
This is what all the pictures of me at my wedding with my family look like. I'm just so much taller than everyone in my family.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know how or why.
that's funny as hell. Yesterday, Gavin, or a couple of days ago, Gavin was talking to Alan True at 24/7 Sports. Called Coach Prime one of the easiest dudes I've ever talked to. Said that when he was in the meeting with Coach Prime for over an hour, they were just cracking jokes the whole time. Just like two homies, two homeboys just
What's the
chopping
quote
it
about
up.
his dad?
Yeah, Gavin says that Coach Prime basically said that Gavin's dad was like the coolest dad of like this recruitment cycle. Woo, woo. And then Gavin was like, yeah, my dad's probably going to put that on his tombstone. Coach Prime said I was the coolest dad. That was hilarious.
That's fire.
But again, this staff is just so uniquely able to relate to these young guys that they're recruiting, both in the transfer portal and at the high school ranks. It's really cool to see. And I tweeted this morning just the measurables of the 6 guys in the tight end room plus Gavin Mueller, who's joining the 2026 class. And just during the show, Julian liked that tweet. So he likes where this tight end room is currently at
He
and
also
where it's headed.
had a comment on Gavin's commitment.
He did.
Right?
He did. He was like, let's work or something like that.
Yeah.
Something to that effect. I don't remember exactly what he said, but
What were the specs again? 6'5", what?
255.
6'6".
6'6", 255.
Yeah.
With basketball leaping ability.
Broken
runs a
360 windmill,
4.5.
bro. He can 360 windmill, and he can run a 4.5 with an 82-inch wingspan.
This is like Brock Bowers type stuff.
No, for real.
Low key, yes.
And just wait till what you see what he does on the football field, I think, this fall. Because, again, he's only been playing the sport for like a year, And I think he
Kind
was
of scares me this how intense his recruitment could get.
Coach Bart's got him.
Good point. Coach Bart not messing around.
Let's go.
And even Zim, right? Who,
Yes,
who we gave a shout out to was hilarious. Yeah. Hell of a get. First high school commit. Buffs are on the
Yep.
board for the 2026 class. We'll see
Love
who's
it.
next.
Oh, and then so shout out to our guy Matt H.
Yeah.
At Scope Buffs 22. Also, if you want some more on the Gavin Mueller commitment, whether you're watching or listening to this, there's a video and a little podcast that Scotty and I put out yesterday,
Look at you guys.
breaking it all down. We're trying,
Grinding.
man. Just trying.
Little instant reaction.
Do you have access to this tweet, Scotty? The one about the visit stats.
I think I could find it quick.
So basically, last year we had one big recruiting weekend, right? It was the Julian weekend.
Yep.
That was like June or July, whatever it was, middle of
June.
the summer. Really good conversion rate on that. It was like I think they went 5 for 7 ultimately in that one, right? You end up getting Julian Lewis, of course, like big prize of the weekend. Well, we've clearly already surpassed that with 2 big recruiting weekends, back to back too.
Yep.
And we're setting up for that one. I think it's in next month in June with Oscar Rios kind of being the center around that. Basically, this is like becoming the recruiting class to kind of change the strategy of recruitment for the Buffs and really just to obviously no Travis and Shador anymore, right? Like it's a different era for the program, so it's like a different. I think this class is kind of signifying that. Anyways, there's been. Do you have it?
I can't find it, bro.
Okay, there's been like 16, 17 OVs.
Okay, I think I got it. I think this is it. Yeah, so the Buffs last year during the spring and summer had 9 total official visits. This year during the spring, just so far, they've had 17.
Sheesh.
So they've already pretty much doubled their official visits, and that includes Johnny Jones, who visited earlier in April. So they've just been
They're turning it up.
they're turning it up, bro.
It's about like we saw it start to shift this year, where there's a little bigger focus on high school.
Yeah.
And they're going to get to a point soon where the class is balanced out enough that you're always going to take from the transfer portal.
Mm-hmm.
But now you can really turn your focus to loading up for the future. It's a beautiful thing.
And then shout out to Matt again. He had this one just on the impact of Jordan and what his commitment meant to this
Right.
program. This is from someone named Brent Rollins. Oh, so he covers Georgia for 247 Sports.
Yeah.
He goes, how big is getting a 5-star offensive tackle? Since 2014, 29 draft-eligible offensive tackles rated a 5-star by Rivals. 14 of those 29 have been drafted in the first round. That's 48%. 7 have been drafted in round 2. So that's 21 of 29 are premium top 64 NFL draft picks, basically. In all, 25 of 29 were drafted. That's 86% of the drafted. Only 2 transferred at some point in their college careers.
Wow.
You get a 5-star tackle, chances are 50-50 coin flip. They're going in the first round of the NFL draft, but they're not leaving your program. These are guys that you can build your program around that are culture setters. That's exactly what Jordan is.
And it kind of reminds you of the NFL, right? You get a franchise left tackle, they're not getting out of there.
Yeah, facts.
You know, you're going to do what you have to do to keep them around because it's one of those holes that once it's filled, you never want to see it open back up. So it's Jordan honestly could go down as like Travis and Shador are always going to have their own personal impact, but Jordan could go down as really like the one that turned the tide,
No doubt.
especially from a recruiting standpoint.
His commitment on like Undisputed came up yesterday on my
Yeah, it did.
timeline,
Oh,
and
legendary.
I rewatched that and just it kind of hit me again. Just like, wow, this was such a moment. Like, and just looking back in the last year and a half of what's happened since then too, like.
He seized that
Damn.
moment because it was one thing. It's one thing to be on Undisputed and just announce your commitment to Colorado, but for him to issue his challenge, you say you a dog, slide. That was monumental on that platform, and he executed perfectly.
Did you guys see yesterday? I think it was. Is his name Thomas Castellanos?
Yeah.
The Florida State quarterback.
Yeah,
He tweeted like basically complaining that their opening game wasn't in primetime or wasn't
really?
on. Yeah.
Oh
didn't see
no, he
that.
didn't.
Well, and it was just like, wow, not primetime or just something like that.
Sure.
And like I was just thinking to myself, like, you'd never have to tweet this at Colorado.
No.
Like every recruiter around the country, if that's something that matters to you, this is the place to be. And like these guys are always going to be in the biggest spotlight.
Bro, 14 straight games on national TV for Colorado.
Oh, because it was 13 last year and then
Well, what's this? 21 of.
Yeah. All of them last year and then the opener this year. But 21 of the 25 games of the Coach Prime era have been on national TV.
and one was a mandated Pac-12.
Yep. Was that the ASU game or was
Yep.
that the okay.
ASU game was a mandated Pac-12.
We were trying to
network.
think yesterday of the 4 that weren't. So that was one.
It had to be stuff at the end of 2020.
Was Washington State one of them? Or was that on Fox?
No,
That was a Friday
that was
night
Friday
game.
night. We
Okay.
were in the bar doing a watch along.
Terrible day.
It's very tough.
So probably,
I wonder if last year's CSU game counts.
I think that was on CBS though.
I think was it?
Yeah.
That was on
it
CBS.
It was on like,
Every game last year was on national TV. So it has to be 4 from the 20.
maybe like Oregon
23
State,
season.
but that was a night game too.
Yeah.
That could have been like the night Pac-12
He brought up
network.
the Arizona game. I know that was a day game for sure.
I think
but-
that would had to have been on Pac-12 or something.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
We did get a few Pac-12 network games at the end of the season. I remember.
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah, because I mean,
People had
Shador
already
was
used
hurt.
their 7-day free trials.
That Utah game was, sheesh.
Was that on national TV?
I don't know. I cannot remember because Shador was hurt and Travis
Right.
Was questionable up until game time.
And
is
they
where
were
he
down
was
to
gonna
their
play.
fourth string quarterback. There's no way that was.
Yeah,
that had to
national
have been
TV.
one of them
Yeah,
too.
last game of the season. No
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
was fighting for bowl eligibility. Yeah. Last thing I got. It does sound like the college football playoff is going to be expanded for the 2016 season.
2026 season.
2026 season. We haven't got a number on it yet, though. It could be 16. It could be 14. Who knows? But
As
it's
much
probably
as-
going to happen.
As much as I'm open to expanding it, I just think this is too much too fast.
I agree.
Like, we haven't even decided if we like the 12-team playoff yet.
Yeah.
We haven't found out the true issues with what happened last year.
Yes, exactly. Like let's nail the 12-team playoff, and then we can start expanding
For
it.
sure.
Yeah, we'll see. I've got mixed opinions on it. I mean, it's obviously inevitable.
I think I think it's good for Colorado
Sure.
if it goes to 16. I don't
Sure.
think anybody can argue
It's
against
great
that.
for the Big 12.
For
Yeah, that's
Big
true.
12 in particular, no doubt. So we'll see.
No doubt. We'll see exactly what shakes out with this all. The House versus NCAA case is kind of coming towards an end. We talked about it yesterday. There's talking about adding, or the ACC is talking about adding OTA style workouts
Ugh.
for. They're gonna make it open to when you can decide to do it, or when exactly. Basically, they're adding 6 more practices onto your 15 for spring. The 15 for spring are locked in. You can kind of move the 6 where you want, whether you want them before or after. Could have them February, could have them June, May. But they'd be contactless, just kind of OTA, rookie
Okay.
minicamp style.
Cool. I got something for you guys.
What up?
Can we play that video, Alyssa? Just a little snippet of the wedding, which, by the way, I wish you guys were both there for real.
Me too, man.
Same, bro. Same.
But this was a fun one.
Shoulder to shoulder, we will fight, 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 fight. Fuck 'em up, go see you.
And you look
That looks
elite, bro. Look like y'all
crazy.
look like a big ass teepee. Like
It's
that
like
looks
it's like a palapa bar,
that's dope.
which was literally just a part of the house that we were staying.
Wow,
at. It
That
was
looks
so
sick.
sick.
Yeah, man. One thing, my guy RK gonna do is he gonna sing that damn fight song anywhere he at, bro.
Facts.
That was actually an alley mandated. fight song,
okay.
Which now you understand why we're here.
For sure. I think the one that the one in San Antonio before the actual Alamo
Alamo
Bowl,
Bowl?
but the one that you
At the
started
tailgate?
in the hotel, I thought was low-key fire. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. You like hear it echoing?
Yeah.
When we were on the pregame show.
Yeah, exactly, for sure.
That was
Yeah,
a good one.
That was a good one.
All right. We only have a few super chats. I'm not reading this.
Ziskin finished his speech at the wedding with the Travis Hunter Sco Buffs baby.
Hell yeah.
That's sick.
Let's go.
What is
Hey,
this?
I need a video of that low key.
Yeah, we got it for
Say
sure.
less.
What is this? You don't want this?
Yeah, why don't you want to read this, bro? I'm. Hey, shout out to my homies, new ice cream company, bro.
No, I see it. I see it now.
I don't get it. I'm
Go
not
ahead
gonna
and
lie.
read it, Scott.
No,
No.
don't do it.
No.
Thank you for the super chat, CB.
That was East Coast Kev.
No, that was
No,
CB.
that's CB.
Oh, it switched already. Okay.
Shout out to East Coast Kev, though. Says, welcome back, RK. It's always good to see you, brother. Jake was talking about you while you were
Facts,
gone.
he was.
I got your back. We black guys got a success. First off, one,
Let me find out you got your card, bro. That's crazy. You got your black card.
Finally.
Okay.
What was I saying about RK?
Yeah, he was talking mad shit, bro. I couldn't believe it, bro.
insane.
Thank you, Kev, bro, for
you can
bringing
tell me
that.
at the
I got
cookout.
you.
Y'all
I
are
got you.
so lame. So lame.
Oh man.
Appreciate you, though.
You thought they
Kev.
wasn't gonna
Appreciate
snitch
you,
on you,
Kev.
bro? You thought you could just
What
say
did I
whatever? Thought it wouldn't get back to him, bro?
That's crazy, bro. Just admit it. It would be better if you just own up to it.
I guess so.
Oh man.
That's where we're at right now. That's what you missed out on the last 2 weeks. It doesn't sound like a lot when we put it all together like this, but it was quite a bit.
Honestly, that was great. I hope everyone else enjoyed the catch up as much as I did, because I definitely needed it. Sometimes it's nice to refresh the memory on everything that's gone down.
Yeah.
One question me and Jake debated, I think last week. I think it was Friday. Aside from Corey Phillips and Coach Box, who head up the recruiting department for CU, from a coaching staff perspective, who do you think best kind of gets thrown around, but who do you think is the most elite recruiter from your perspective of amongst the coaches?
Who did you say aside from Coach Prime?
Aside, well, yeah,
Well,
him
Prime,
and
Box, and Corey.
yeah, position
Because
coaches,
they're-
Position coach?
Yeah.
coaches.
J. Phil?
That was my answer.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with J-Phil.
No.
Track record is impeccable.
Yeah. For sure.
I said Brett.
Which is a great answer.
Yeah.
Might be number 2.
Yeah.
And a good argument for number 1. He's been going crazy.
Both of them have brought in a lot of great receivers, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, and someone commented yesterday on our video for Gavin Mueller. I mean, and I tried to bring this up when we were talking during that segment. I mean, Coach Bartoloni recruited a lot of the wide receivers on this team. I think he was the primary recruiter for Cam Michael.
Wow.
Yeah. He's getting it. Shout out to them.
Do we do overtime or do we end the show?
Let's end it.
Alrighty, guys. We'll be back tomorrow. Friday vibes. Get ready.
Appreciate all the love from everyone. No way I could ever thank everyone who said something, but I saw all of them, so appreciate you guys for your congratulations.
No doubt. See you guys tomorrow. Let's go Buffs.
Let's go Buffs.
We all silly like the mayor.